Dear child, take a slow breath and let these words settle gently. The angels are near, and they speak with urgency because something sacred is unfolding behind the scenes. Something meaningful is moving in ways you cannot fully see yet. This is not chaos. This is not confusion. This is not coincidence. There is intention here, and heaven has been involved from the very beginning. The connection between you and this person did not come together by accident or convenience. It was not created by chance conversations or random timing. God's hand was involved in bringing your paths together. What you felt from the start was not imagination, it was recognition. And now, something has been revealed on the other side that is shifting everything. The person you are connected to has begun to see you differently. At first, they noticed the surface things, your appearance, your personality, the way you stand out. But now, their eyes are opening to something deeper. They are realizing that there is weight on your life, that you carry favor, that you move with protection, that there is something about you that feels covered, guarded, and intentional. They are recognizing that what rests on you is not ordinary. This realization did not come gently. It came suddenly, like a light turning on in a dark room. And when they saw it, they were shaken, not with fear, but with reverence. They understood that you are not someone to approach casually. You are not someone to treat lightly. You are not someone to play with or delay without consequence. You are set apart, and their spirit knows it. Your light awakened something inside them that had been sleeping for a long time. Not just emotions, but purpose. Not just attraction, but awareness. Something deep within them responded to your presence, and they are beginning to understand that this connection is not only about romance. It is about alignment. It is about calling. It is about destiny unfolding in real time. They are starting to realize that meeting you was not just about love, but about responsibility, and that realization is changing them. Their thoughts are shifting. Their prayers are changing. Their inner world is rearranging itself. They are being pulled into deeper reflection, deeper honesty, deeper maturity. God has been speaking to them quietly, through dreams, through strong inner impressions, through moments where your name, your energy, your presence keeps returning to their mind. In these moments, they are not just imagining romance. They are seeing partnership. They are seeing purpose. They are seeing themselves walking beside you, standing with you, building with you, and supporting what God is doing through your life. This feels overwhelming to them because it feels holy. It feels serious. It feels like something that must be handled carefully. They are realizing this is not a connection they can rush into carelessly or approach with half effort, and that is why their behavior may seem different now. They are beginning to notice the strength you carry, the battles you survived, the wisdom you gained through pain. They see your endurance. They see your growth. They see the depth behind your silence. And instead of judging you, it humbles them. It makes them reflect on themselves. It makes them ask hard questions about whether they are ready to love you the right way. They may feel unworthy at times, not because they don't desire you, but because they don't want to mishandle something sacred. They don't want to love you lazily. They don't want to show up unprepared. They don't want to bring old patterns, old wounds, or old distractions into something God is clearly protecting. This is why they are counting the cost. not to walk away, but to rise up. They are realizing that loving you means growing, that choosing you means changing, that walking with you means leaving behind what no longer fits. They are beginning to understand that you are not just a desire. You are a responsibility, not just a partner, but a calling. They are slowly stepping out of worldly thinking. They are no longer focused on impressing you. Their heart is shifting toward honoring you. They don't want to take from you. They want to protect you. They don't want to dim your light. They want to support it. They don't want to keep you small. They want to stand beside you as you grow. If they have gone quiet, this silence is not always rejection. Sometimes silence is reverence. Sometimes silence is reflection. Sometimes silence is someone stepping back because they realize the moment is bigger than their old ways. They may be in a private season where God is refining them, teaching them, and preparing them to show up differently than before, because through you, they are also discovering themselves. Your presence has unlocked parts of them that were dormant, dreams they forgot, gifts they buried, a deeper hunger for truth and purpose. You became a mirror, not by force, but by being who you are. And through that mirror, they are remembering who God originally created them to be. This is why shallow love no longer satisfies them. Games feel empty now. Surface-level connections feel wrong. They want depth. They want truth. They want something real. They want you, not a filtered version, not a perfect image, but the real you, the healing you, the growing you, the honest you. They are asking God serious questions now. How do I steward this? How do I show up with integrity? How do I protect what you have placed before me? And heaven is answering them slowly, patiently, step by step, teaching them humility, teaching them discipline, teaching them how to love with maturity instead of fear. And while this is happening, the angels are also reminding you to stay grounded. Your role is not to chase. Your role is not to convince. Your role is not to force clarity. Your role is to remain in position, to pray, to heal, to prepare, to stay rooted in peace. What is meant for you will not need to be begged for. If this person is truly sent by God, they will return differently, with clarity, with intention, with alignment, with a heart that has been refined, not rushed, because this revelation was not given to excite them, but to move them, not to confuse them, but to mature them. They are standing at a turning point, a choice between comfort and destiny, between fear and obedience, between staying the same or rising higher. Heaven is watching how they respond, not with judgment, but with purpose. They are beginning to realize this connection is not meant to stay small. It is not meant to remain undefined. It is leading toward something solid, committed, and grounded, something that carries weight, something that requires courage. Fear may still surface, but fear does not always mean no. Sometimes fear appears when something matters deeply. Sometimes fear shows up right before someone steps into alignment. And as truth grows stronger, fear begins to lose its grip. The shift you feel is real. The inner preparation is real. Even if words have not been spoken yet, the movement has already begun. They are building courage internally. They are gathering faith. They are releasing distractions. They are becoming someone who can love you fully, not partially. And as they honor what God has revealed, Doors will open, favor will increase, momentum will build. Because when two people align with God's purpose, their connection becomes protected, strengthened, and guided. This is not just emotion. This is maturity forming. This is purpose aligning. This is timing being refined. What is coming is not rushed, not careless, and not accidental. If your heart has been longing for someone to finally see the real you, rest now. Stay steady. Stay faithful. Because what is unfolding is not small, and what comes next will speak louder than words ever could. They tried for a long time to avoid this. They distracted themselves, stayed busy, told themselves it wasn't real, and tried not to look too closely. But now they see. And once someone truly sees the truth, they can't erase it. They can't go back to pretending. Something has clicked inside them. They've seen a future with you. Not just an idea, not just a feeling, but a real picture of life, growth, peace, and purpose. They've seen the calm you carry, the steadiness in you, the way your presence brings clarity instead of chaos. And now they want that peace. They're being drawn toward it. They're no longer running from it. They're moving closer. Even if they haven't said anything yet, your role right now is not to chase, fix, or control. Your role is to stay steady. Don't spiral in your thoughts. Don't question God every time things feel quiet. Don't beg for signs or reassurance. Stay grounded. Stay faithful. Stay focused on your own growth and alignment. This season isn't asking you to prove anything. It's asking you to trust. There is a moment coming when they will speak. And when they do, you'll hear the difference. Their words will carry weight. Their voice will sound clearer, more confident, more sincere. You'll feel that this isn't the same person who hesitated or hid behind fear. This is someone who has been changed. This is someone who has faced themselves and made a decision. This connection was never delayed in a negative way. It wasn't blocked or forgotten. It was developing. It was deepening. It was being shaped so it could last. What they recently realized about you stirred something deep inside them. It lit a fire. The pull got stronger. The calling got louder. The sense of timing got sharper. And when they finally step forward, it won't be subtle. It won't be confusing. It won't be halfway. It will be clear, intentional, and impossible to ignore. They're not coming just for attention or temporary comfort. They're coming with the desire to stand beside you, not in front of you or behind you. They want partnership. They want to build something real. They want to walk through life with you, face challenges with you, grow with you, and protect what matters. This isn't about romance alone anymore. It's about responsibility. Inside them, a line has been crossed. They've moved from wondering to knowing, from resisting to accepting, from maybe someday to this matters now. They know it's you. They know this connection isn't random, and they know it's not something they can keep putting off without consequences. That's why the silence happened. That's why everything suddenly felt heavier than before. Why the air between you felt tense. Why conversations slowed. Why clarity seemed to disappear instead of deepen. It wasn't because they stopped caring. It wasn't because the connection lost meaning. It wasn't because you imagined what you felt. The silence came because something serious was unfolding beneath the surface. Something that couldn't be rushed, avoided, or ignored anymore. Inside them, things were breaking open. They were being forced to look at parts of themselves they had been running from for a long time. Old fears rose up. Fear of responsibility, fear of commitment, fear of being fully seen. Patterns they once justified no longer felt safe to hide behind. Immaturity that used to feel harmless started to feel heavy. They began to recognize where they avoided growth, where they delayed accountability, where they chose comfort over truth. And that kind of inner confrontation is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It pulls inward. It creates distance. It creates silence. What they discovered wasn't only about how valuable you are. It was also about what they needed to change in themselves. They saw your strength and realized they couldn't stay weak. They saw your faith and realized they needed depth. They saw your integrity and realized they had to clean up areas of their life. They saw your confidence and realized they had to rise to meet it. You didn't pressure them to grow. Your presence revealed the gap. That's why it took time. Real change doesn't happen overnight. It requires honesty, discomfort, and decision. And now, they're moving differently, thinking differently, feeling differently. They're reflecting, they're praying, they're weighing their choices more carefully. They're planning how to show up in a way that matches what they now understand. You may feel a shift before you hear a word, a sense of calm, a release of pressure, a quiet knowing. That's because real love doesn't need to be chased. When it's real, it returns on its own. It chooses you again without being forced. They thought they were choosing a person, but what's really happening is bigger. They're choosing growth. They're choosing purpose. They're choosing responsibility. This is why it feels intense, because it's not just emotional, it's transformational. If things feel slow, don't panic. If it's quiet, don't assume the worst. Some things take time because they're being built correctly. Pressure produces strength. Preparation creates stability. Once this starts moving fully, it won't stop easily. They're letting go of old habits, old fears, old distractions. They know they can't bring those things into the next chapter with you. They're learning that love at this level requires clarity, honesty, and effort. They may not be perfect when they come forward, but they'll be willing, and willingness matters more than perfection. You don't need to beg. You don't need to explain your worth. You don't need to compete or convince. Stay calm, stay aligned, stay open, but grounded. Their silence was not rejection. Their delay was not denial. Their distance was not a lack of feeling. It was preparation. Now, something is shifting. What they've been holding inside is getting closer to the surface. The confusion is fading. The fear is losing control. And when they speak, it will bring clarity instead of questions. You'll see it in how they act. You'll hear it in how they speak. You'll feel it in your spirit. This isn't fantasy. It's alignment. It's two people stepping into something real with intention and maturity. So lift your head, protect your peace, make space in your life and heart, because the one meant to walk with you isn't coming with excuses or uncertainty. They're coming with respect. They're coming with courage. They're coming with commitment. And when it happens, it will feel calm. It will feel right. It will feel like peace.